In this video, we're going to look on all type of the upscalers. Taking a look, we have three main groups. One that can run locally on your computer. Another one, it's a hybrid, can lock on your computer, but it can access online, and you choose between this. And third, the pure run online and require full-time internet connection. And tell you true, when I start looking on them, it's so many. We cannot cover in one video. For that reason, I will take some mainstream. I also will show you some new upcomers that you should pay attention because they have very great features. And as well, we're going to compare afterwards to see how they work and which upscaler work the best. Due to amount of the upscalers I want to cover in this video, we not necessarily will go put side by side, but trust me, by looking at them, you will be see for yourself which one perform the better and make a right choice or selections for what you want to use. In this video, I'm going to test on three main images. One, which will have the portraits. I photoshoot this in studio with a Rococo style. It was very fun time. And they have two portraits. We'll see how it will handle upscaling the people faces. Another photo I'm going to test, it is landscape. It's just a nice, beautiful stream. It's I think it was sunrise at this time, and it's kind of very interesting ways. A lot of details, a lot of small plants, and we also will have some chromatic abbreviations on sides from the lenses. So it's we'll see how that will handle as well. And by the way, those two images, if we look here, they are 8,000 by 5,000 pixels, so they're a little bit large. We don't necessarily want to upscale this. In this case, what I've done, I went and scaled them way down for the testing. It's about 256 pixels one. Well, we're going with the first SD model. Primarily, we'll look how it will work for early versions of AI render. Another one that's more coming, 512 resolution. After this, 1024 and 2048. And interesting things start because AI catching up, and now I will show you also services that can create image now for 4000K resolution. So this is almost don't need upscale. What is original photos? It's an 8K. It's very common, well shot on Canon 5D. Canon 5R. It's a mirrorless camera, and this is native resolution. So most cameras, when you go on full frame, they will be about this same resolution, and mostly you don't want to go higher because it's almost perfect work for the client and create some work. Okay, and a third image, I'm going to use it for test. This is AI render. This is created in Nano Banana, and by natively it was creating 2048 by resolution around that size. So this is about, we'll say 2K resolution, and we'll go to upscale this as well. We also look a little bit on the two types of the upscale. The one, just a little bit as a comparison, this is non-AI type. Well, it's still AI, but it's old Sensei style from Adobe Photoshop. Can just upscale. And most of the old type of upscales, they don't add any details, anything. When they upscale, they're mostly going by contrast and just make sharper edges. But you still have those big empty spaces because they just stretch them and fill up with gradients to make it smooth look. But technically, we'll just check that one as well and see the difference. But mostly what we're going to check here, it is upscale based on an AI engine. For example, like this is in Stable Diffusion, and this is from one of my video. You can check on my channel where we created this advanced type rendering. What's happening here, it will create image. After, it's going to upscale this image and utilize generative AI to fill up those gaps. Then a normal upscale will be just gradient, so it's add extra details. Problem with adding sometimes extra detail, it can go way over border and make faces very unfamiliar, replace face, add some unusual details. So just unwanted artifacts, because this is generative, it just take over and create two new image which overlay in those spaces. Let's go start with a simple Photoshop, so kind of understand what is upscale does. In Photoshop, if we create new image, we easy can go image size, and inside here we can just change the resolution. Be sure you click resample and can select different. This is one of old, and I don't know how long ago it was updated last time. I know the Adobe have it in work, some generative upscaling, generative AI upscaling, which what I was saying will fill up these gaps, but we can do here. Well, let's go ahead and just will pop up straight to 2048 to 2Ks. So if we press OK, let's look what's happened here, and you can see instantly, look on this. This is upscale, but it is lost. Look on this. This is blur everything. It's what I was saying. See, it's upscale, but it does not add any details. Just a little bit sharpen on the edges, but because we upscale too much, it's lost information. By the way, if you want upscale and you kind of want to do with the high details, just do incrementally. So what is meaning? And this is work also for some of generative AI. So instead jumping that high, you're going image and you upscale to maybe 512. This is have it one upscale. After you upscale more and more, so you have it step by step. This, how I said, techniques work very well with also generative AI, but it will take a little bit time, and patient. Just run one batch, another and another. Well, let's look right now on those upscalers. They can run on your machine, and if they even run on your machine, some of them do require subscriptions, and I kind of don't necessarily will look on those. The one I want to show you, it is you just pay once, you buy it, you own it, or you run absolutely free, like for example this with Stable Diffusion in the ComfyUI. This one is plus, it's completely free. You install in your machine. It's total private. It does not go anywhere. It's all processed just on your machine. And beside this, if you are like tweaking around with different models, different settings, this is excellent tools. It provides huge flexibility. And I will say from all tools that you can use it, ComfyUI Upscaler probably the most flexible. I took extreme versions because it's what we created here. I will explain a little bit fast what processing here, but they also have it many different versions. Regain, another ones which is much simpler, easier, but they don't necessarily produce good quality. We'll look in a second what I mean by this. This one a little bit more advanced, and this is working away. What's happened here, we have it our image, just ignore this first. Again, if you're interested in full list workflow, check my other video, but here we have it our main image loaded. And how the AI approach is actually create a segment from this, so it's small teeny tiny pieces, upscale those pieces, run them through like overlay additional AI. It's almost like image to image type generating with overlap a little bit on the borders and after stitch together. So this is just, imagine it's create a bunch of teeny tiny images. They upscale them to about 512 or 1024 size and overlay with a little bit overlapping. So it's how it's work. Very nice, very flexible, and how I say, it's a huge plus about this. It is free, it's flexible, but here's a big minus. And big minus with this, it is need very good video card. You need to have a very good GPU to run this on your computer with a good VRAM, good amount of VRAM, or you may be running a problem that you cannot process some large images because you just keep running out of memory. And beside this, if you run with ComfyUI, you do need to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you feel frustrated, you feel don't achieving any result, you don't know what, anyway, you probably end up smashing your computer in frustrations. So this is one of the big minus in this. The other is have it stand-alone applications. And I used to love Topaz Gigapixel Gigapixel from Topaz AI, and tell true, I still think it's a very great applications. My only right now reservations, it is subscriptions. They changed from you owning applications to the subscription model. So now I think this is last year you kind of going, they give you a little bit for free, but if you want future use of these applications, newer versions, new models, you need to subscribe to them, and only then you can use it. They did put a little bit sugar on top, says, hey, you also can go to the cloud, and I tried right here, render to the cloud. And this is a big plus for those who does not have powerful machines and want to process it. But render on cloud, it costs credits, and you can be very fast around out, depend on your workflow. So in Gigapixel right here, you can see you create, just upload image. Very simple, straightforward use. You also have it your preview, and you'll notice almost all of the applications that have it upscale options, they are very similar. They're actually using very similar techniques, technology, and interface look very familiar. So that is kind of plus. Only the differential them, it is what model you're using, and model it's what reside there. By the way, with the Topaz Gigapixel, you still have it redefine those beta ones, which is utilizing the generative AI to upscale. They work very well, but you can go a little bit too much with them, and they will start messing up with your image. And here one of the example where I took it to the extreme, not almost, but extreme of this generative AI. So I'll give you example. Remember, you have a little bit sliders. You don't have it that much options. You have it just creativity, high, medium, low. You can adjust, and as well texture. But let's look right here. This is original low resolution, and when we change, look on this, it did add details, quite a bit nice, beautiful looking on the flowers. But for some reason, we start getting cat on the side, and faces is total different. So it's different people there. Something does not do with a tongue here, but you can see it, add textures, add everything. So you could find some kind of good medium, but this is one of the best example what is generative AI will do. It's actually keep it everything and add details. So Topaz AI, I will put a link down below. You can go try to maybe subscription, see if it's work for you. For me, it's one of the current minus, but it is still standalone. It's still, if you own original application, you can still doing all of this. If they say they don't remove license, you still can use it forever. And I think you maybe still have a chance to, buy it before it's gone all the way in subscription. So this one is performed very well. And let's look inside the Photoshop what it can create for us. This is a test that I run on my local machine with my local model. I also run another test with a Topaz on the cloud, and we look and compare those as well. This one first, it's 256. So right here, I put a 256, and it's upscale 4 times. Well, let's look on original. This is original. See how blurry it is. And when we upscale this to 4 times, so this is happening. So it's not bad. It's add very nice sharpness, but we definitely can see the pattern right here. So we start working kind of too mechanical pattern happening. And as well, right there, I have a text like Vladimir Chopine, so you can see it won't work anything on the text. And we can say it did perform 4 times. It's about what's 1024 by 1024, so it's not bad, but I think this is generic. This is not acceptable. So if I upscale this image, I won't use it. It's just too much pattern going inside that can recognize. So let's go on a 512. This is a little bit better because it's, again, when we upscaled 4 times, it's given more information to work with this. And if we're going closer, we'll see we still have this pattern, and this is easy to recognize on the hair. You can see it's going on, but definitely a little bit better processing. We can look on the text. Obviously, it's too small to process to understand, but it's generally just clean and nice. It's a semi, you can use it this as well. Okay, next, when we're going upscale from 1024, here we have it way more information, so they can play around, and we can check. Yes, we have it kind of our name. My name is restored, and definitely better on the hair, much better right here with the whiskers going. A good upscale overall, and we'll just go right there to full size. This is nice, clean update. Right here is only what I was saying. It is, see, this leaves the too smooth. It does not have this nice texturing adding to them at all. And when we're going to 2048 right here for a K upscale, let's look on closer. We still have a little bit on the tongue right here. I think pattern little bit I can see, but generally did a very good job. It's actually did a very good job on the texturing right here. By the way, this line, what you see, select twirler line, it's from effect I used in Photoshop, so it's not artifact of the upscaling those squiggly lines. So this is actually did the right way. Yeah, I think general this is actually does better to upscale when you have a lot of details to more, but this is we're pushing. So this is kind of normal on this. Let's now check on the landscape, and I can see if instantly, you can see right here, see the pattern coming. This is a biggest problem what I found with the Topaz. When you have a too low resolution and you're upscaling, they have this pattern that going through the AI, and technically it's not really useful at all anymore. So this is this 512 preform a little bit better. We still have a problem right there, a little bit more problem with smaller details, and same things when we upscale, it's getting better and a little bit better here as well. It does change a little bit DOF afterwards, but general I think it's preform actually not bad. This is very useful, nice image. Okay, let's go now, close this one and check AI generator. So this one actually I took it again from 2048 and shrink down, and now we upscale. This is going to 56, so it's not bad. By the way, it is in a image when Nano Banana did, it's missed some O here, so it's a, let's say it's done on purpose, but you can see it's created this image. So original not bad. It's okay, let's shrink down. This is what upscale from 256. Actually, it's quite a bit clean. It's performed way better on these kind of AI images. This is from 512. Here we can see sparks. You can see how they still a little bit render, and some faces does not recognize. So if you look on a face like right here, you can see they just mushy. It's just bunch of some elements, some polygons, you know, not something there. 512 perform a little bit better. Now we can recognize this face because have a little bit more information, but it's tell me it's not necessary have them inside the model, and it's just try to guess at the point. This is our 1080, so we have way more details, and this is the highest one. Definitely you can see the create them kind of properly here. And yeah, I think they perform very well. So overall, gigapixels, low resolution, they have from low to higher. I think this is kind of worse. Rest is okay. It's not, I will say, I was impressed to wow point, but it create a good job, useful, very useful images for work. And here we have it from our cloud. I will go a little bit faster on this because I did not find any difference between render on a cloud. By the way, this is 256, but for some reason did not find any different from render on cloud or render on your own machine, with one exceptions. Exceptions is sometimes like right here you can see when it's returned from cloud, it does produce like artifacts like his eye looking a little bit weird. I think they try to apply by default maybe face restorations, even I don't check this in, but the settings was here is exactly the same as we using on local machine, only I select render on cloud. So I found sometimes this kind of little bit artifacts coming more from on cloud. And again, problem is because you're using credits, even they mess up there, you still need to pay another credits to fix the problem or try resolving. This is problem with working on cloud kind of. The landscape and AI generated images was upscale with exactly the same on your local machine. The different primarily it is you don't utilize your own GPU if you have very low power computers or you're working maybe from your mobile device. Then use it online services or this application. It's what benefit you the most. Next what I want to look, it's another application. It is not brand new. I think I show some video enhancer, but they also have it local installation just for images upscaling, and this is A.I.R.T. So again, this is nice because you're paying once, and if you buy with the full rights, you can have it full upgrades for free lifetime, at least lifetime of the company, let's put it this way. So applications very easy install and run, and the recently updated model, and if I'm right, new models should coming even better one very soon. So on this interface you can see it's very similar. It's not exactly the same, but they all will have it very similar interfaces, so you should be a very familiar. Middle screen, it's where you have it your previews. You can set up what type of previews. Then your bottom, usually below, in some case maybe on your left side, it will be select of the images with what you're using in this case, and on your right usually your settings. The nice things about AIRT in this case, it does not have an overwhelming amount of the models. So this is my before and review on a Topaz. I mentioned this is my kind of minus to the Topaz. They even have it super old models that you will never use it in your work, but they still they still be loaded. They're confusing a little bit. I prefer when it's a very simple, just this model, for example, here, just increase size or increase smoothness, depending which one you're working. One remove noises kind of, and one is just when you upscale, and it's actually performed not bad. It did a very good job. Same on a big. If you utilize the smaller ones, and we'll look a little bit closer in a second, you can see it is from this blurriness. It just did not handle necessarily properly and create this kind of just a blobs things. It's best to look on the text. I think this is worse than Topaz, which perform on smaller. But if we look on bigger models, and primarily if we look like on the faces and other ones, you'll notice right here we don't have that type of distortion of hair. A little bit more plasticky in a way it's producing. I'm not a big fan of this, but again, we're very close, but it at least does not try to create this pattern. And both of them I want to use it. This one, but you know, with AIRT you have some additional options you can adjust. I will make video about this and put it so you know how to operate. If you're interested in this, I will have a full review on these applications and other one I'm showing, but just general say it's not bad. It's not good, but it's not too bad. When we jumped a little bit up, it's going a little bit better, but again we still prefer have it a little bit that's plasticky. And if you want to recover from this, you actually can manage models, and this is another plus on this application. What I like it, you can select one application like different model, for example the same gain, and you also can go and have a second pass and you can select different model or same model to like add details, for example remove noise and add details. This is very good one, and I wish some other applications have this stacking of the model so you can process. Huge plus of this, it can process incredibly fast. Right below you can see right here I have tons of different images, and this one is actually I was upscaling the image, and this is best and fun way to do, because when I create video, usually you create in a small image, so you want to upscale that image if you want to have it 4K. Usually if you're using any video upscalers, they do not perform as well. It's take a longer time. They need to extract everything. So what I like to do personally, I like to actually take image, separate on separate frames, upscale, and after put together. You can do this very fast, and you can do this for free. All what you need to do is just have it FFmpeg, install it, link down below. Very easy to install it. Inside you can run a couple commands. One command says, hey, take this video and extract on frames, and really incredibly fast. You will have separate frames, which is beauty because you can tweak with each frame. If maybe something wrong with frame, you can adjust it. After you just run very fast to upscale these frames. After this, you will have 4K frames, what I did with this, and run again, single command, and it's put them back together to MP4 so you can use it and compare to the video upscaler and compare this way. Actually, this work much faster, and I will have it test for this for you running in another video when we're going to look on 2 different ways to how you can upscale video and which one will perform actually better on the output quality. So we'll compare that and we'll put it. Also, split on the frames work very well if you're running on your local computer, because if you try to upscale video like on a Stable Diffusion inside a ComfyUI, problem is it's need loading all of this field frames. Sometimes they will use the MP4 to split on frames, so it's take more room and it's more model. In this case, you can just simple set batch, and it's a upscale one image at a time. You combine together, so you will have much less VRAM to use, and you'll have the same very high image upscale. Okay, let's look on some of these images that instead preview but actual render, because many times application will in preview show you less quality because it try to save kind of processing power. So I generated here, we can look on this, and let's check this first 256. We'll take the versus, and just to compare, this one is, if I'm right, we're using the more details, and you can see definitely it did kind of upscale, but it is start hallucinating with the faces, not sharpness. Some details could perform better, so it's not did the best job. And with details, it's definitely better if you utilize the right model, because other ones were smoothness, and smoothness mostly for the noise images. But as soon we switch to 56 from smoothness, which is kind of ugly, to the more details, you definitely can see they actually can use this. This is a very good upscale on 256. We do lose some details because they're not there, it's need created, but we can see the hair kind of visible, and this is actually performed quite a bit well for upscaling 256 image. So next, again, we're going 512, and smoothness as always. I almost say don't use smoothness for upscale, use smoothness for removing noise because it's what pain, and more details definitely work. And again, it is upscale, not bad, it's produce a real good quality. Let's go look this. Smoothness here is already work nice, and more details. With some exception, sometimes when you use more details there, you start having hallucinations. I'm like right here, see this area? This is totally kind of generating on its own. It's a artifact there, but text same, little bit small, hard to read. Okay, so let's go see next what we have it, and we'll just jump. Maybe let's go to 240. This one, let's go 2 times upscale. So we still have a little bit problem here. Something in the model probably just not sitting right. And here is better when we upscale to 8K, so we upscale from 2048 resolution to 8K, and this is a perfect. I mean, this is will look right here. Hair look perfect. You remember those lines? This is look way nice. I mean, this is a very good upscale on an image. Again, enough details. Did process. The reason is why also I like to upscale pass by 8. For the 8K pass by like 2K, It's how regenerative AI work, because some of them work only in 1024. And remember, originally I showed how they overlap some of those elements. It's what I'm checking here, how well it's overlay, how invisible for us will be the sectional, because it does section this. It's how it will be invisible in this case, and how much great. So I will say it's actually performed very, very good. And with more details on 256 is definitely better than, I think, Topaz, because it does not have this more details. No, it does not work well. And of course, we can check on our nano bananas here for our minions. They all look good. If we check the eyes, it's what I'm looking. See the dust, it's look properly. This is rendered correctly. Spark, so this is higher resolution. And if we're going with more details on this, you can see it did perform, but we still have some lost. I will actually say I will prefer this one versus the Topaz model. So this overlay, it's Topaz, and if we look, Topaz does have a little bit more like on background, kind of interesting. But what I was saying, like right there, see this one versus, no, Topaz actually performed better. Yes, now, look a little bit closer, you can see it's a fuzziness, but same upscale. But this is what upscale the 256, and if I'm right, Topaz was upscaling. This is compared to, to 256. So to be fair, we probably want more compared to this one, which created an A.I.R.T. And this one was more up to resolution. Okay, let's move to next. And yes, I did also check landscape with AIRT, but because it's a leaves, it's branches, in many cases it's performed not bad. I will show if something like jump, something very bad will happening, so we'll look on landscape. But general, mostly it will be face and AI because low resolutions. And of course, if we're going back to check on our render like this, you can see they perform real well. So all upscales here did a very, very good job. Very realistic upscaling. This is kind of new upscaler pop up on my radar. I want to share with you. It is Neural Moon. I will put a link down below. It's a standalone on your computer. It's have some very interesting options how it's work as well. It does work quite a bit fast. It is image restore. You can see right here we have it upload. Similar things, very similar interface, except on the back we have it on the side. We can control it. It did perform a little bit, on my opinion, better, like right here on the faces, you can see. So it's meaning the model of, for example, minions is there. And we're going, this is 256. If I'm right, to upscale, yeah, right here, 256. And we're upscaling 3 times. I think we're going 6 times upscaling, and our width 2K. So it's from 256, we're upscaling to 2K. And it's performed not bad. We do have it right here a little bit mess, and this is very common to generative AI upscaling. So sometimes if it does not have details, it will start agglutinating and creating their own amount of details. And mostly right there we see broken things. It is kind of problem with the models, so it just does not have it, and they start creating. So this is actually interesting applications. I would recommend for you to go check out. Again, links down below if you're interested. Perform not bad, and I just want to show very fast in previews, and you can see, and after we'll go in very fast in Photoshop. Check there. Did have very nice upscale. We don't overdone, not oversaturated. Same like other applications, very easy to select. You just select what you need here, what type of the upscale, resolution, how much AI model you want to apply it, if you have it compression, decompression, some other ones. So kind of a little bit stacking on an option, same like other ones, but not necessarily stacking on a model over the processing. As well, this is also include a little bit of the post-processing adjustments with the brightness contrast that some other kind of don't have it, and you need to use it afterwards. So this is our minions here. We can look on also landscape. You can see it did perform a little better cleanup from all of these branches. It's generate them very well. A little bit fuzzy, low resolution, but it's acceptable. This is why I need to start showing you, because when we start going to landscape, for some reason it's this application in a settings that I was using did not shine as I hope it will. Possibly I just used maybe different models but it seems like I was experimenting with different models. But you can see what's happening here with the noise. It did apply only to specific size when we use it. When we're going higher and higher resolution, it did perform better. But when we're going like with 256, you can see right here on the same settings, we have kind of a little bit disappointment, if we can say. It did not happen with faces, with AI recognition, so it did a very good job on this, on recreating. Well, let's check them closer in Photoshop. So this first is 256 originally. It's upscaled to 1024. It did a good job. And if we're going to click, oops, let's go right here. Let's go a little bit closer to this. Too close. It's not bad. And honestly, well, here it does not add sharpness, but personally, I prefer little bit like this smooth, not enough sharpness than just this artificial sharpness, because I cannot use the other ones. This one, I could going and add additional sharpness over this image. In many cases, well, what you need is just a sharp mask, and from here we can also going just add a little bit of the sharpness. Let's reduce on the pixels like this, and there you go. Then we can work a little bit more with sharpness to add here. So we can work around this, but don't have this artificial pattern. That is a huge plus. So we can still work around this option. So this happened here. If we're going with 256, it definitely better. Still no pattern, so it's held very well. And as well, we can see it does not over smoothing or create different problems. Now, of course, if we're going for high resolution 256 like to original, this is like beautiful. Here you can see it's preserved and upscale very well. Generally, it's a just nice, beautiful upscale image, very useful without any overdone on the generative side. Okay, same if we'll go look a little bit on our Nana Banana right here. I think this is so far was the best upscale from 256 by adding details. And you can, again, I can see right here, see those minions, they look very nice, I think, by that, without getting problems. And of course, if we go to high resolution, when we upscale them to 4K, this is did very good. I don't see, and I was looking a little bit closer before recording, because to make a video it's take quite a bit time. Like this is took quite a bit time to go and render this, do all this stuff. And by the way, if you like this video, appreciate like, subscribe, share, because it does help the channel grow. And it does take a lot of time to create this video. Like this one took me a few days just to create this images test, generate, just to check them for you which one is work better. But anyway, so right here I was this new upcomer. I really impressed how it did work. I did impress by quality production, except this way you can see for some reason 512. If we're going for 256 this way, 512, and we go 1024, it's beautiful. So for some reason it's have a little bit problem with that resolution and only on landscape. But beside that, faces, the AI generative, it's handled very good. So it's nice to applications, link down below for you. Well, I think it's time to jump now to online services. The one I want to show you, it's a Vivago AI. The reason is because many other services you maybe don't know, you maybe use them or paying whatever, they actually do have it image resizing inside. And like for example, Vivago AI, they do have it, and if you have a subscription, they're actually free to upscale. Yes, I did not know this. They don't even use its credits. You just can go upscale. Because their focus is on a video generation, everything. And image upscaling, it's more like a side tool, more like, oh, I have a teeny tiny thumbnail, I want to upscale for my video or other things. You kind of use it. So I won't say it's great. And like, for example, right here, you can see it is upscale, but it's using a little bit too much of this HDR type curve it's creating. So it's not bad. It did upscale, created, but general, I will say probably other ones will work a little bit better. Like right here, you can see kind of heavy this HDRI type, you know, image, but it's there, and it did not take any credits for me to upscale. So just be sure before going and jump, use it. Online services, check what you already have it. You may already have it in your upscaler. Just if I speak online upscalers, I have another video where I check more upscalers online, and sadly more than 60% what I was looking, it's a scammy upscaler. This is not truly upscaler. They just take your money. You're paying more than you can pay for Photoshop subscriptions, which is at $9.95, $10 a month. The other one, guys, will take from you $20, $30 more than you can pay for that subscription, and they provide quality way less than you even expected. Okay, this is Vivago, just to let you know it's there. The one is actually kind of interesting on my list. It is Magnific. So this is not a cheap service. I need to tell you ahead, this is expensive when you buy credit and using, but they're not focusing on everyday folks. So what they're focusing, it is on professional who want to create a high quality, great resolution images, and they did this well. I remember early when I would used to create my models, and let's see if I can go right here, and you can see sometimes this is actually good, but if you go way down to my early things, sometimes you can see, like I think right here, no, maybe one below, they gone too much. Yeah, this one still be okay, but sometimes you're going and the creativity, it just total change everything. So with the new models as they're updating and new releases, and I come back like recently when I create this, they actually done a very good job. It does not change that much stuff when you're creating. It's actually create very good images, but you need to be very careful, because when you're going here and you go, for example, to upscaler, the options of creativity, this will influence in a huge way. So if you add more creativity, you kind of like go right there and you have a resemblance, you do all this stuff. It's just a, well, let me show you what's happening. Like, look on this face. This is 256 we upscale. See his eyes, close it. He kind of hair looks somewhat. It did real incredible jobs on some, but it changed faces. Okay, it's changed like his pattern here. If we look on the minions, let's go down to low resolution. I think it is right here. If you look on them, they just gone. You know what I mean? Look, it's just the holes of this stuff. And I think the primarily reason is why I was using this, just to check what is model train. I think the model just does not have the reference to this, so they just create some cubes, some stuff. The name is gone. So this is not as great on some of this level, and you need to know what tools you're using for yours, because that is all tools to create for the portraits, for this. So this is a problem. However, faces was okay on high resolution, low resolution there. So I do like new models. I do like what they're creating with the 4K, and this is beautiful. I mean, landscapes, it's created beautiful. You can render like 4K images, which unbelievable quality, all this resolution. So they focusing kind of on this. And but if you upscale, be careful with the settings. My recommendation, don't use it too much creativity. If you want resemblance higher, use it less creativity, but don't go in minus, otherwise you will have those empty spaces. I usually reduce HDR, just kind of like right here, pop up resemblance and fractal to 1 around there. Also, you probably want to go to change our optimize for the portrait, soft portrait, and it will create very well with almost no applying like eyes, no, so it will create great. And I think online services, this is one of the top for me reason it is on the quality it can create. Well, it's about all what I want to cover in this video. Remember, all the links will be down below. I know some of them I did not jump inside the Photoshop, like with example with Magnific and other ones, but you saw what they do online, and thus whatever you see on a web, that is actually what you get it with. They're not like more on your applications, because I notice on desktop applications most time you're getting better quality after you render than in a preview, but online, at least with my experience, what you see is precisely what you get. Well, thank you for watching this video. I know I probably missed tons of different very nice upscalers, and please let me know if you have something way better, most useful. I always look for some new upcomers. All links will be down below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you.